Hello, hello. My name is Soul, and today I am reviewing Wrath of Man, and that man happens to be Jason Statham. And I remember when I walked into this film, I was like, "Oh, not another Jason Statham action film. Like, how many of these films can this guy make?" But you know what? Halfway through this film, I was like trying to think of other actors who could do this guy, do this role, and I couldn't think of one who could have done it better. As tired as I am of seeing him, Jason Statham killed it in this role. Is probably one of, if not his best role I've personally seen him in. Killed it. But let's talk about what this film is actually about. I knew nothing going in. It was my first time being back in my favorite movie theater. I was happy since the start of COVID, and I was just happy to be there. And this was a good film to come back to. It was actually a good film, but I knew nothing going in. We followed Jason Statham. He's not a super vocal guy. He's very monotone, very to the point, and he's getting a new job as a armored truck driver. Basically, these guys are getting large sums of money from point A to point B, and as you can guess, this is a pretty dangerous job, and they're encouraged to be more defensive than offensive when being attacked. So he's between a rock and a hard place, and that's when he suddenly starts showing some badass abilities. Despite during the test to get this job, he wasn't showing anything like that. Now he's suddenly an action hero, and you start to learn more about his secret identity. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but we get a whole long backstory about that, and then we get backstories for our bad guys, and then we set up for this big final showdown, this big heist. And really, you can divide this film into three parts. There is the Jason Statham as a armored truck driver, which is the first third. The second third is dedicated to a lot of people standing around rooms, looking stoic, talking stoic, just basically moving the plot forward. Where we get a lot more information about our bad guys there. That's probably the weakest moment of the movie. Is we're just kind of talking in a bunch of rooms for a long time. At that point, I was like, let me just go back to Jason Statham. And we get Jason Statham's backstory. And then we have the final third, which is just basically the heist scene from The Dark Knight if it was like an hour long. And there's certain things I was nitpicking during this film, which is like, why are we rewatching the opening scene to this movie gets played like 3 different times from different perspectives. And the timeline of this movie is kind of all over the place a little bit. And it started to make sense once you got to that final act. Really, they are just setting up like the ultimate chess match. And like a good chess match, it's going pretty slow at first. But when things start flying, they're flying. There's characters dying left and right. Is big showdown. And there's certain moments I was actually disappointed at. Like I was like, oh, I thought this character would do more. I thought this character would do more. Really, the reason they set up all these characters was for this big battle at the end. I do have some actual complaints though. For instance, there is a twist. It was a very predictable twist. They have a man on the inside, and I was like, it's that guy. And it was that guy. That was unfortunate. Also, like the first third, every single character seemed to be like written the exact same way. Like I know it's obviously like probably the same writer, but literally every single character seemed to have the exact same tone, the exact same style of dialogue, and the exact same like sarcastic wit, and they all bounced off each other with the exact same style, and it was very weird. Towards the second and third half, things start to get more serious, so it's not as blatant, but that was a problem for me for a little bit there. But there's actually a lot of good action in here. I'm not like the action movie connoisseur or anything like that, but I can appreciate intense scenes when I see them. By the end of this film, you're not going to know what's going to happen. They're going to do things that are going to surprise you. And that's really all I can ask from a film like this. Is it a little corny at points? Is it a little overdramatic? Yeah, sure. But it's all in good fun. By the time you walk into this film, it's a good, like, revenge mobster story, something along those lines. And, it's written with enough poetic justice that you're like, ah, yes, that was good time at theater. Very good. Brain happy. Am I going to watch this film again? Maybe. I'm not, like, going to watch it anytime soon. This is like one of your one and done, potentially I'll show this to my friends like 5 years later kind of movies. So with all that being said, I'm gonna give Wrath of Man a 7 out of 10. Really, the experience for me here though was getting to my local movie theater again, getting that sound quality, getting the big screen, having the whole theater to myself. That's what made this thing really special for me. Go Wrath of Man for, going out there and fighting the probably not so good box office numbers right now. I appreciate it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching as always, guys. I have a lot of other movie reviews on this channel if you'd be so interested in watching those as well. And until next time, with that, I leave you.